Alright, hello YouTube. It's been 11 months and everybody in the world has been asking, where are his videos? Well, you know what? Today we're making a video. So treat yourself and go watch it. I wanted to talk today about Elazer, who's like player coming over from StarCraft with a lot of experience. He's won a lot in StarCraft, so very talented RTS player, making his come up in aoe4, and if you follow the scene roughly, you would probably have heard about him by now. I've been doing some customs with him. Like yesterday I played 8 customs with him, and I just wanted to show like 2 of these games and kind of talk about very common mistakes. So yeah, just a little bit more info about Elazer. He's now Conk 3, like low Conk 3 somewhere, which is pretty obvious that I think I was expecting him to do it even faster. Like I think if you have RTS skill, it overlaps quite a lot, right? So, and Conk 3 isn't that hard to get if you have that sort of resume. So I think mechanics just get you to Conk 3 instantly, and then at some point aoe4 is a lot of knowledge game. It's kind of like he can use his mechanics to get low Conk 3, then he gets to the point where he needs a lot of knowledge, and then eventually it becomes about mechanics again. And he's currently kind of close to that knowledge part. You can probably get to like 1800 ELA or something, just off of mechanics, and then you have to know some more stuff. So he's currently learning Delhi, and I was just playing some customs with him and giving him like tips, told him why he lost, told him what he could have done. So almost all these games are like 9 minutes and stuff, right? Because so I'm playing random, 12 minutes, something like that. I'm just playing random civ, and because that's most fun for me, and that it also gives him like a lot of different matchups. And like this is a very good example. We'll just go through this matchup, like replay, like giga fast. This is just a knowledge thing. So Delhi counters English, and if it's essentially in this matchup as English, you can't play Council Hall all in, because you get countered by the Delhi player making like double producing archers. Like, well, there's 2 versions. So you can either go no barracks, and then the Delhi player can make Ghazis and the longbows will die to Cav, which means that you have to make a barracks. And if you do make a barracks, then you don't have enough longbows to beat full archer. And this is a good example of something which is just knowledge and nothing else, right? Like, as soon as you know this, I'm gonna actually turn down this game volume a bit. Not that one. Don't want it overshadowing my voice or anything. So as soon as you know this matchup is free, and like Delhi's kick a favorite. So he's built a stable, which means he's lost, right? Like I've made barracks and I made spears, and so now it's basically GG because he can't counter my army. And he's gonna get a rest of shit, and he will have a hard time catching up my archer count. Like I'm gonna arrest his wood, etc., etc. And the game's over now, right? And if he knew that he had to double produce archers, then he would win. So against an experienced player, I would never council hall rush because it doesn't work, right? I would mess around with like a king and a couple of horsemen, right to the nice sides, go castle, get like a second TC landmark, try to survive with outscaling with hills, whatever. But it is a Delhi favorite matchup by a lot. So a lot of this is just knowledge, and it takes time to learn. And even though, you know, he has a lot of people explaining him shit, like to actually get it all in your head takes some time. So he's currently in that phase. So for now, it's obvious that I'm beating him. Like, I think everybody watching this channel probably knows me, and you know that mechanically I'm not super strong. I do think I'm a little bit better than people make me out to be. Like, most of you are acting like I always play like 20 APM. It's not that bad, but I am among like the higher rated players. I am, you know, mechanically weaker. But for now, I can just beat him based on knowledge. Alright, so essentially all these games are super short, and I'm playing Random Civ, as I said, and 2 of these games I think he was actually winning. So these 6 games or so that we saw so far, he never really had a chance because he either didn't know what to do or he did it incorrect. But these last 2 games, I was like, hey, you're somewhat winning now, which is nice, right? Like I want him to improve, and I also think JD is like, it's a Civ I've almost never played, so that also helps him. But like if I get a Civ I'm good with, he just doesn't really have a chance, right? So I wanted to show this game, and again, like, highlight his macro skills and show how at the end of the day it's still knowledge. And I'm kind of forcing it to be knowledge as well. That's also, well, I guess in the next game I'm forcing it to be knowledge, which is like the advantage that I have, right? So I don't really know how to macro JD, so I got my pro scout a bit late and everything, and I'm just going double knight instead of 1. Gonna harass him a bit, we're fighting a bit, changing health, trying to get him off gold. I know it goes super fast. All good so far, but now I'm like worried about my pro scout, so my knight count is a bit low, whereas he's just making units. So I'm gonna get outnumbered, and I should probably back off. I should be happy with me taking some of the deer from his side of the map, and I should just chill. I should just back off, take the small win, then get the 2 deer packs at home, and call it a day. But a bit over eager here, and turns out to be a fight, and you know, I'm gonna try to micro the heal a bit, like use that at proper timing. You can see that he's doing an amazing job getting his low HP Ghazi out of there. And now he brings them back in when it's harder for, I don't have enough units to kill them. I'm gonna get like this, I'm trying to get this last charge in, which I do now, and I send it, but they don't really die. Just trying to finish off low HP Ghazis. But overall, this is a big win for him, okay? So he's in like a demanding lead at this point in the game because I don't really have the army. I'm also not macroing the best. Like I said, I don't really know JD. And also just trying to micro fight a bit. But I can't deny the sides, which means he's going to be in a good spot. And then like in 5 minutes from now, I'm going to win the game. So I also delete another knight in there, apparently. I didn't see these replays yet. Even another. Okay. Well, that makes it even worse. So he's very far ahead. So now you have to know what to do with your lead, right? As if you were Elazer. So there is an issue in this matchup for the daily player that if you fight in feudal for a long time, eventually the JD player is gonna level up their hero, and you're gonna really struggle to deal with that. So you need to be castle, and in this position, the only thing you have to do is just you put all your vills on food, and you just stop reducing army, and you're gonna get the passive gold from the sacred side. He's on triple side, or let's just run it for like 2 seconds. He's on triple side. That's gonna definitely give him enough gold to go castle. So if right now he knew what to do, I would lose, because he would just put his vills on food. He would use the army that he has to, you know, keep me off of the sacred side, raid me a bit, maybe raid on the gold from here or something. But he's super chilling. The most important thing that you don't want to do is like don't want to over-invest in like archers and shit like that, because then I'm gonna level my hero, like I said, and I'm gonna win. So if you go into like the caster mode, maybe that explains it a bit better. He already has this army, which is enough. He doesn't need more. Yeah, he's ahead in destroyed value. He's 1k you had in army value. He gets a free castle age here, like literally free. You don't have to mine gold even because you get everything for free. So you just gather the food, age up, make crossbows, you win, okay? But he doesn't know what to do, so he loses. And this is gonna be a theme for him for a long time. And there's so many matchups in the game, so many different strategies, so many options. So he's over-forcing the action here, right? Like, this was all still good, decent trades for him. But he can just chill because he has triple sides, and that means you're winning. So I'm just checking what algo he has. Now I have JD back. And this is like, he's gonna misjudge this fight because, you know, JD is just good in this situation. He doesn't have enough Ghazi to actually really kill me. It's a bit dicey, like it can be really hard to judge these sort of fights. So I understand him going for it, but eventually I'm gonna like win this fight. Or it's close at least. I guess I'm waiting on my abilities. You can see in score and everything he's far ahead, but he takes a fight that he doesn't need to take. And I'm not saying that this fight was like a guaranteed loss. I don't really know how he changed back to normal. But I'm not saying that this fight was like 100% he had to lose the game here. But, or start struggling again. But it's just completely unnecessary. Like, the gold he's getting from the sides, in H2 the only thing you can make with that is Delhi, is scholars. So you're gonna float it. So if you stay feudal, you have to make a market and buy food. But you could have just aged and win. You get crossbows, you get relics, it's GG. And he would probably win at like minutes 16, 17, something like that, right? But now he loses this fight. I got a shit ton of XP because my JD was in the fight. I can decap the sides a bit. And I can just, you know, I clean this up. I get my level up. And then as soon as I call the... I leave a bit so that you don't get the annoying bug where you call them in a combat. So I run away just to call them. Just so that JD has like a spot to call them. And now I get these boys, he can't deal with them. And the game's over. So, who played better in this game? That's like essentially my question. I would say he outplayed me. He outmicroed me. He got triple side, which should be a loss for me. But I knew more, so I won. And I'm gonna showcase this Mongol game as well. It was so from the 8 games, these are the 2 games where he got ahead. And yeah, just kind of show you why he lost and give you some insight on my point of view. So I'm just gonna spear rush. I think this is always something people should do more. Where you just click on a random S3 or random berry if it's there or whatever. Just so that this vill has something to do while you're waiting on the wood for the barracks and you don't walk back and forth for nothing. And you don't stand idle either. I see the back gold. Okay, so this is a very minor tip, but I do want to give it anyway. So when I show up, I click on the mine to see how much he's mined. So he's mined 133. So he has enough for an H up and he has 33 gold. So to make a scholar, he needs 80 gold. Is it 75? I think it's 80. At least he's quite a while off. So I'm cool with him wasting more villager seconds, mining more gold. Because whether he ends up with 30 gold in the bank or 70, he's not going to be able to do anything with it. So I would rather that he has 70. So just to kill like 40 resources, it's super small, minor thing. But it's still something I wanted to just quickly mention. So I let him mine for a while, you know. Well, I guess he leaves and then he's like, oh, he lets me mine. I don't know. Small thing, not important. So I do something greedy here, which is where I burn this for the bounty and I make a tower, which is a bad play. You should always have your spears with the Vil, unless you're confident that the Vil is not spotted. So especially now that the scout shows up, I should pull back and I should cancel this because I'm gonna let him siege it down, which cost me the full 100 wood. I thought I would waste his Vil seconds, but the 100 wood loss for me is worse. So I have to switch 5 Vils. I just switch them to wood so that I can afford a new one. But basically bad early game for me. Now this Vil is to chill it for a bit while I get the 100 wood. And also he doesn't need this forest because he has this forest. But I didn't feel like I needed to... I don't think against Delhi you really want to tower the gold. That's why I went for this. I'd rather deny some berry. And maybe just some... Like, this is the path that he would walk, right? But okay, we're just chilling here, like not much going on. Gonna like double produce Kashik. I made an archer range because I thought I might play feudal. But then I cancelled the double archer. I was like, I don't really want to play against this sort of base all in feudal. I'm just double producing scout instead. Keeping him away from the deer. I was trying to see if he was on the gold. Maybe I do kill 2 Vils at some point. Maybe I already did it. Keeping him occupied a bit, you know, trying to just keep him in his base while I'm getting the deer despite not really having an army and going castle. Yeah, okay, I did kill 2 of his gold Vils because I remember this happened after that. So I killed 2 Vils of it on 2 of his Vils on gold. He's gonna cancel my tower now. Okay, I'm going castle and getting ranged armor for his archers and to dive his base. So this is my weak point of the game, right? Like I'm aging with a small army. So let's quickly go into caster mode. So he's like double my army. I think he's in a pretty decent spot. Although he hasn't captured the sacred sites. He should have went for that earlier against such minimal unit investment. But the main problem that he has is that he has 15 archers. And I'm not making anything that archers are good against. I'm going castle, like I'm gonna go Kashik, I'm gonna go Man at Arm, right? So the archers, he over invested into archers, and this is another very common mistake for new players. Like he's playing for like 2 weeks now, so still relatively new. Although I think RTS skill overlaps, so in a way you could say that he's playing for like 10 years, but strictly aoe4 he's new. You want to make units with a purpose. So the archers don't really have a purpose in this game. Like, yeah, I had 5 spears for mates 1, but I'm not gonna make more of them. So you need a handful of archers. You can make like 5 to deal with the 5 spears, you know? You don't even have to. You could even do it with like 15 Ghazis and some scholars. They also counter spears. Even though supposedly the spears are the counter, you just attack them. When you get low HP, you leave and you heal them up, and the spears die for free. So I don't think you even need an archers in the first place. But he did make archers, right? And I'm going castle, and he should know this. So first of all, you should scout it. But if you don't scout it, you should know it based on my presence on the map. So if you're like an experienced player and you see that I'm not really doing too much, like I did like a small run by, I killed 2 of his gold Vils, The two worker kills are there. But I didn't really do anything. So any experienced player would know that I'm going Castle Age. And that means you need no archers. So in his position, he's already overproduced archers. But the main thing is that you don't want to make any more archers, which is very important because archers become super useless. Like they're very good in H2 and they become, especially as H2 goes on, if you stay in a very long H2, then archers become better and better. But against Castle Age units, they do 1 damage a shot, they're useless. So if I were him in his position, I would stop gathering wood instantly, like altogether, 0 on wood. Like you already have gathered too much, you've gathered like 1,000 too much, because you could make like 10 less archers, or even 0 in theory. And you have like 500 in your bank that you don't need as well. So let's say you have 10 less archers, that's 800 res. And let's say you don't have this 500 wood, that's 1300 res altogether. You're pretty close to Castle Age if you want to be. And you should have the sites, that means you don't have to mine the gold. And then 1300 res all on food is enough to go castle. But okay, we're not in that hypothetical situation, we're in this situation. So what do you do with your archers? And this is extremely common mistake amongst many players. I see this all the time. These archers, they need to full send it. Like you have to completely YOLO. The only thing, their goal, like the only remaining goal for them in this game is to idle my eco and to kill villagers. Because if you're gonna fight against Castle Age units, they're gonna do 1 damage shot, which is nothing, which is useless. And if you take the fight to me, then I have to respond to them, and that means you buy yourself time, which is extremely important. Okay, so he's finally capturing the sacred site. He was a little bit late on that, but it makes sense. You know, you get a bit overrun by a tower maybe. So he's attacking me a bit, which is good. This is what you need to do. And I'm trying to steal his deer. And I'm just running past this shit, right? I don't care about your attack. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna go into your base and I'm gonna try to deny your castle edge. If you're going castle, which you should be doing. If you're not going castle, that means I'm winning. So I'm just skipping this army, like, yeah, okay, you can stand here, sure. I have some spears to defend. And now these archers, this is the main reason he loses this game, is he went back with them. But my army just left. What you should do, you could even run into the fucking TC. Like, even if you get TC fired down, it's cool. Like, you will kill some vills, you will cause idle time. You can, ideally, you'd run into the gold, because this is just a single tower instead of a TC, right? You can waste these men-at-arms their time. If you run it, like, let's say you go like this, he was standing here, let's say you went like that and to there, then my men-at-arms would have to chase them. And he could even just run through the men-at-arms, you just ignore them, and you kill as many vills as you can, and you micro towards the corner. And this matters because if my men-at-arms has to clean them up, the further away from your base I am, the more time that you have, right? But what do you do with the time? That's the only thing that truly matters. Like, you're buying time for something, but what are you buying time for? You're buying time to get crossbows. Because if you don't get crossbows, you're dead. And men-at-arms are like a very unique unit in the fact that they destroy everything in H2. Except for maybe night sieves. And they're really bad in H3 because crossbows counter them. So in this situation, H3 against H2, they're amazing. They will just win the game. And I would say that in his game state, it's like kind of even. I like his state maybe a little bit more. No, I don't, because he get too much wood. If he went off wood faster, I would have. But and he should also be pro scouting his own deer, right? Like the tech roughly finished at minute 9, so he should be bringing these in with like two scouts, and then all these fields can just be under the TC on deer. But in 4 minutes from now, he's gonna be dead because he's not gonna go castle, and he's gonna use his archers in the wrong way, which is, you know, he's heading the wrong direction, and it's very normal. It's like an instinct that you want to go defend your base. So I'm like doing very bad here. Like I'm trying to raid, but I'm losing my Keshiks here as well. All my units are dying, right? So the storage value is probably heavily in his favor. Yeah, it's 1k in his favor, which is quite a lot. And my army value is like half of his. He has 40 units, I have 13. But I don't care, and I know this in game that I don't care, because I went into this base and I saw that he's not aging. So in my head I know, okay, I've won this game. But for him, he doesn't know what's going on, probably. Like, and I don't mean any offense by that. It just, yeah, that's just what it's like for a new player playing this game. So I'm trickling even more units into that. I'm just wasting shit all over the place. I'm like, okay, let's stop fucking up. Let's actually group up my things. So I just get everything grouped together. And the reason I can do this is because the archers are not in my base. And now I just send it, or soon. I'm waiting on a couple more reinforcements. Like, any of his reinforcements mean nothing. Like, any extra archer that he's gonna train is useless. And any of my reinforcements matters a lot because they're super strong. So I can waste like a minute here if I like. But okay, I win this fight and I know that, so I'm just gonna take it. And yeah, you'll see, like, his army is obviously bigger. But he has 5 attack archers and I have 6 ranged armor, like kinda overkill. I didn't have to do that. And he reaches castle now, which is just super late, and that's because of the entire wood thing and the late sacred site, etc, etc. We already talked about it. So it's too late now, and now he dies, so the game's over. So again, I can ask the question here: who played better this game? And I think I played atrocious. I messed up the tower. I kept trickling units into that. I don't know, I just did a lot of things wrong. But I did one thing right, which is I didn't stay in feudal and fought him there, which is where I would struggle, because Delhi is pretty good there and I already wasted some units and all that. But I just used my knowledge, made man-at-arms, and I win the game because he's gonna be too late to counter it. So all of these games I kind of wanted to show because I'm not gonna do more, but you kind of get the point. And it's fun, right? I'm just playing random civ, which is enjoyable. I wanted to show them because I think some of the mistakes that he's making are really interesting and really common for probably a lot of you. Obviously you're not going to be mechanically as good as him, so you might be making these mistakes at a platinum or whatever your level is. But yeah, wanted to talk about this, wanted to showcase Elazer. I'm really curious how he's going to do in the future, whether he's going to stick it out with aoe4. I hope so. It's really cool to watch, and hopefully eventually he will be the one stomping me. That would be the most fun, right? Like if he's made that skill jump, because yeah, like I was explaining earlier, he's currently in the knowledge bracket, And if he manages to get past that, which is tough, like there's so many matchups, so many things you have to, it's a shitload of stuff you have to understand. If you get past that, it becomes it all starts to be, everybody kind of knows everything, and it's becoming about mechanics again. And then if he gets to that stage, he would beat me, right? And I hope that will happen. So if you watch this, Elazer, good luck to you. I'm gonna keep trying to help you out. I think it's fun. And for those on YouTube, first time seeing me in like a year, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. And who knows, we might have another one day. All right, take care, everyone.